All right, welcome back, everyone. This is John Ken Talks. Hey, if you're liking this channel so far, please go ahead and subscribe. Give the video a like and share it with someone if you're finding this entertaining. If you happen to learn something from me sharing my random thoughts and musings, I appreciate it. We've grown, a little bit over the last couple weeks, and I'm just going to keep putting these videos out, and we'll see what happens in a little while. But today we're going to be talking about the WNBA once again. And I tell you that this rookie class continues to cause waves in the WNBA. It seems like every other week there's another story about either Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese, causing a stir. And I mean that in the good way. I think they're shaking things up. They're getting in the headlines, and they're causing folks to think about the WNBA differently, both fans and existing veterans in the WNBA having to think about their league differently. And that's exactly what happened this weekend in the Team USA versus the WNBA All Stars game that happened this weekend. And you've heard about it already, but what happened was the WNBA All Stars, led by, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and others, did defeat Team USA, the team that we are sending to the Olympics to, represent the United States in women's basketball on an international scale, right? So the expectation would have been that Team USA would be able to defeat the WNBA All Stars. Not that the All Stars are not good, but Team USA is handpicked, right, to be the best of the best. But there's a lot of talk about maybe there are some politics going on, which is why certain players were left off of the original roster. Maybe there are some egos that are trying to be appeased, but Team USA will tell you, no, that's not what it is. We picked the best of the best. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, they're rookies. It's hard for rookies to get on to Team USA. Blah blah blah. Don't worry, nothing to see here, right? Until they got on the court together, and I'm not going to go into play by play. There's other channels that do that, but there were some interesting things that came to the surface in this game. So not only did Team USA lose, right, but Caitlin Clark, she got 10 assists, which is a record for the All-Star game. And if you see the way they were playing defense on Caitlin Clark, it's like they had her double team, sometimes triple team, the entire game. So these veterans that did not believe Caitlin deserved to be on the Olympic team, they were, so worried about her scoring and wrecking them that they had to double team her the entire game. So you'll see she only scored 4 points in that game, but if you watch it, it literally is because they've got her locked up the entire game. So she decided to switch it up and start dishing and try to put other people in position to score, right? So although Caitlin Clark, she had 4 points, you'll see that Angel Reese, she had 12 points, and it was crazy. So that's not to say that Team USA played poorly, right? Diana Taurasi still put up 14 points. Aja Wilson, 22 points. Brianna Stewart, 31. So it was a hard fought game, but they weren't able to put the All Stars away. And I'm just wondering, like, what does that say, right? When your Olympic team is not able to beat the All Star team, particularly when there was already calls for certain folks to be on the roster or whatnot. Like, someone's got to answer for that, right? And so there's talk that maybe there's an opportunity that maybe Angel Reese will be added to the Team USA roster. Maybe not, but the fact stands she was not on the original roster. So, I mean, they kind of said they made their choice, right? So if they come back later and say, okay, Angel Reese, we're going to put you on, I think it doesn't mean the same thing as it would have if she was on the original roster. So I think there's going to be some folks that have to kind of answer for that and why they're making decisions based on egos and not based on, talent. Now, I'll be honest, like I do defend Caitlin Clark quite a bit. I don't know if I defend her. I think I point out her professionalism. I'll say that. But I'm not sure that she necessarily, from a talent standpoint, should be on Team USA. I don't think that she should not, right? But I think from a popularity standpoint, from a just basketball, like raising the the status, the standard of WNBA across the world, I think she should. But I do think that her scoring is still a little bit unpredictable, right? From game to game, and I do think, like, if you look at Asia Wilson, like she's gonna get it done every game, right? And I think Angel Reese, who's not on the team right now, she's a little bit more consistent. Right now, I think there's reasons why Caitlin Clark is a little bit more inconsistent. Number one, uh, people playing crazy defense on her. Maybe the Kennedy Carter, just basically trying to take her out of the game and injure her, has an effect. Also, she really hasn't had a break, since playing in the Final Four in the college, right? She does that. A couple weeks later, she's already on the court for the WNBA. So like her 3 pointer, right, isn't really falling as much as you might expect, because this weekend she did take 7 3-point attempts and made zero. So I think there's just a lot going on there, and I don't have as strong of a case to say she should be on Team USA as I would for Angel Reese. But I'm not a coach. I'm not in the WNBA. That's just my observation from watching it the last couple of weeks. But what can we take away from how Caitlin Clark is handling herself through all these ups and downs through the season? I think the number one thing I take away is this girl. She is playing her game, right? We have not seen her get pulled into a lot of beefs and a lot of the trash talk, the back and forth. She continues to kind of try to keep it positive. She'll say her piece every now and then, but she's not being inflammatory. She's not being divisive, because I think she's aware that anything she says is going to be blown up like 10 20x, right? I don't think she really has the luxury of kind of acting out of emotion as much as some other players. Um, and I think that's a lesson, right? It's the same for us, right? We're at work, on the job, or whatever. Like, sometimes you just got to play your game, right? Even if things are crazy, unpredictable, folks don't like you, whatever. Sometimes the best thing to do is just practice your craft and get better, and winning and success will shut the haters up eventually. And I think that's what Caitlin's focusing on, and she knows she's got some things to work on, and that's what she's doing. Right, she's still getting her footing under her in the WNBA, but she's very productive and very successful. I think the other deal with her is she's got a lot more to lose. She's been given a lot of responsibility, um, a lot more than most rookies coming in get. Right, she's got a ton of endorsements. She's doing some charity work. She's she also has a lot of money riding on her image. And so I think she may in private be a little bit more frustrated, angry. I don't know. I'm not there, but I see her really kind of holding it together a little bit more. And I wonder if that's got to do with just in the back of her head, she's been coached and said, "Hey, you got a lot riding on this. Like, just keep it cool, play your game, and basically collect the bag, right? Which is what everyone's really there for." But it is interesting, that we still see the hate. Like, Caitlin Clark is the reason that some of these teams are flying private, flying first class, and things like that. Like, that was because of her, because that wasn't the case last year, right? Maybe it should have been for some teams, but it wasn't the case. So I think we'll see her continuing to kind of focus, keep her head down, and do what she's got to do. Maybe she'll end up on Team USA. Maybe not. I understand they have an opportunity to make a change, but I don't know. I don't know that that's going to happen. But I think she's focusing. She's doing good with the fever and all that. I think Angel Reese, she has had a couple of outbursts, couple of emotional events in the WNBA. But I think she's just she's young. She's very passionate. But I think she's also doing a good job, mostly of composing herself, and the fact that her and Caitlyn may not have the best history together, but Angel Reese did like say she's like, hey, we're going to get along for one game. Like to be able to be professional like that and know that hey, this like I said in the last video, right? Like we both need to shine so that we both can get what we need, right? They both benefit from having this win over Team USA, whether they benefit by being added to the roster or whether they benefit by not giving the media and the pundits something else to talk about to say, oh yeah, we told you weren't good enough, or whether they benefit from some of the popularity that's coming out and more advertising gigs that come out of this. Like I think they both benefited from that teamwork. And there were several other veterans as well on the team that they worked with as well to make this win happen. But we know the real reason this game is being talked about is really because Caitlyn and Angel. So, but yeah, I think this is going to be maybe hopefully a turning point in some of the narrative around Caitlyn and around the other rookies in WNBA. I think they really proved themselves on the big stage this time. So we'll see what happens over the next couple weeks and really going into the next season. But I think Caitlyn, she's kind of on the court, but she's doing exactly what we have to do in the workplace, right? Ignore the haters, try to be productive, be successful, regardless. And then when you do get that success, you get those wins, handle it with class, right? I mean, I'm still seeing jabs come from like, say, like Diana Taurasi. Even when she gives Caitlyn a compliment, she says, "Hey, in her very short career, she's done such a great job. Caitlyn is so awesome. She's great in her very short career." Like, there's still jabs. They can't just give her a compliment or just don't talk about her. But they can't not talk about her because they keep getting asked. So I guess that's fair. But it's going to take a while, I think, for the veterans to really see her as like part of the organization and someone that they should partner with and not necessarily distance themselves from. And because I don't think success for Caitlyn means that Diana Taurasi um, can't be successful, or any of the others like Asia Wilson, Kelsey Plum. Like I don't think that takes away from it. I think actually it raises all boats. But we'll see. So anyway, I just want to give a couple thoughts on the game that happened this weekend. Hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.